Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nurin Syafiqah binti Rashidan and also my group members, that is Nur Zarina binti Khalid, Rabiatul Adawiyah binti Abdullah, Nur Amalina binti Yusran, Ahmad Tajul Haq bin Razali, Muhammad Syazwan Izzuddin bin Sakiman, Muhammad Razik Hal bin Abdul Hamid, Muhammad Aidil Wafi bin Shahabuddin, and lastly Muhammad Ashraf Daniel bin Amran. We are from group 5. So now we want to present about the Iban people. So let's go to watch our presentation.
Introduction of Iban is the Iban people before the princess of the British in Borneo in the middle of 19th century, but it is believed in they migrated from the neighboring Indonesia around 1675, although there are some scholars who place their migration to early 1880. The first documented contacts between the Iban and Westerners were with the Dutch in 1854. In March, a Dutch delegation on its way up the Capuas learned that the ruler of Salimbau was preparing to launch an attack against Sintang with the help of some 3,000 Iban warriors. Before this, the Iban had been allied with the Sintang. During this time, war was become normal thing for them and bloody too. Over the next few years, there was increasing tensions between the Iban and the Dutch until around 1900, when tensions began to slow down.
Okay, the food traditional for the Iban people is manok panso. Manok means chicken and the panso means bamboo in Dayak language. The traditional food of the Iban, natives of Sarawak, Borneo. Itself become popular not just among the Iban people but also Sarawakians. The food many special occasions, especially during the festivals times, because they normally serves this kind of food. The food are like meat, chicken, fish, vegetables, and also sometimes even rice together with the species. They put together into the bamboo steam, and then they directly place over and open a fire to be cooked. The unique using the bamboo because bamboo will give a special aroma and texture to the food. Okay, number 2 is tuak. Tuak is generally in Sarawak. People love this drink so much because when they have any special occasion or festivals, especially during Gawai celebration, tuak or rice wine is a special kind of the drink that made out of fermented rice with yeast and sugar. Sometimes the sugar scent are thought the first one is popular during the past. Normally, serve as welcoming drink to the guests other than become a special drink during the celebration. Thank you.
For my part, I want to share with you about Iban clothes. The Iban traditional costume for women is Mari Empang and kain kebal. Mari Empang is combination of bag and hand-stitched cotton decorative outer garment. It is usually in red color, but women required to wear Mari Empang in festival. Kain kebal, which is a cloth pattern by the ikat technique. Normally, the kain kebal is decorated with colorful stripe pattern design. It is made of cotton as well. Okay. The traditional garment of Iban men is called kelambi and sirat. There are two types of kelambi, which is sleeve and sleeveless. Kelambi worn by men Iban during curtain ceremonies. The way to try the sirat is take a strip of material about 10 inches wide and 10 to 12 feet long. The end of the cloth is decorated with beautiful embroidery or weaving. Okay, that's all.
Okay, next is language of Iban. The language for Iban is Malay Polynesian. It is language spoken by about 1.4 million people in Sarawak, Brunei and Indonesia. Iban speakers belong to the Dayak ethnic group and used to be known as Si Dayak. The Iban language, also known as Iban Sabah or Si Dayak, and closely related to Malay, particularly the Malay of Sarawak. Besides, in Brunei there are about 15,800 speakers of Iban in the district of Temburong, Tutong and Belait. And lastly, there are 15,000 speakers in Indonesia, particularly in the Kapuas Hulu Regency of West Kalimantan province. Thank you.
Dances. Tradition of the Iban community is composed of custom, culture, belief, and life in longhouses. Plus, in practicing, their practices and tradition of their ancestors. Longhouse as well as to build good relationship among families. Dances. Gayak dance is the main identity of the Iban. Uniqueness of the each Gayak dance. Gayak dance is danced in the Gawai Day, the celebration as a sign of gratitude. Gawai Festival, Harvest Festival, is the main festival of the Iban tribe. Celebrated in early June, traditional Iban hero dance in Sarawak.
Hi guys, Assalamualaikum. I'm your Amalina Yusrans and I will continue the slide with the topic of marriage. In Iban's marriage, there are 6 stages that you guys should know. The first one is the courtships. In Iban marriage, it is customary for both of the parents from the boy's sides to make a proposal on behalf of their son. They will make a proposal to a girl which they are interested to have as their daughter-in-law. However, if their son insists of marrying a girl of his own choice, they will accept it. For your information, if an Iban's boys are interested in a particular girl, they should take their own initiative to court the girl. And if they got a positive response from the girl and there is no objections at all from the family, then the boys will tell his parents about his intentions to marry the girl. Okay, we go to the next stage, which is the proposals. When both of the boys' parents agree with the girl, they will send a message through a messenger who is normally around their relative and who is closely associated with the parents. And this is to avoid the embarrassment for both parties, just in case the proposals are being rejected. When there is any indications of a favorable response from the girls, the boy's family will bring a delegation to propose the girl openly, and the delegations normally comprise 3, 5 or 7 elder persons, and there will be more female members than male members in that delegation. Okay, next stage is the engagements and gift. When the issues of Nguai or Ngugi and the preparations for Mela Pinang are finalized, both sides will exchange gift. And the gift can be in the form of any articles or a reasonable value. For example, it can be a silver girdle or a brass container. But nowadays, in a modern way, it is common for a couple to just exchange rings. And there is no fixed length for the period of engagements. Mostly, they prefer to have a shorter period of engagements, like on 1 month or maybe 2 months. And there is no penalty that are involved if the engagement is dissolved by a mutual consent, but each of them are required to return the engagement gift. Okay, next is the bride vows. Bride vows, or they call durian, and the bunga pinang attached to it varies from one area to another area or according to the social status of the couple. Okay, we go to the next stage, which is a wedding ceremony. A few weeks before their marriage ceremony, both of their family's members will make the preparations for the celebrations. And they would send an invitation to all their relatives and their close friends. And in the past, these invitations was in the forms of a string notes, or they call it a temuku tali. The number of notes in the strings indicate the number of days before their wedding ceremony. And on the day of ceremony, the bridegroom and his party will go to the bride village, and they will go there by boat or overlands. And on their way to the bride village, the bridegroom party will beat the gong and a drum, or they call it bertabu. The purpose of bertabu is to avoid from hearing a cry of a bad omen. And the boys' party will return the gun salutes when equal number of gunshots. And when the gun salute is over, the bridegroom party will proceed the longhouse, where they are invited to open a kuta. Okay, the last one is the blessing ceremony. The next morning, the bridegroom and the party will take the bride to his village, and the bride will be dressed in a traditional costume, accompanied by her parents and the member of a longhouse to witness the babyao ceremony. The babyao ceremony will take place in the evenings at the bridegroom's longhouse. And guys, at the ceremony, the couple will be dressed in a traditional costume and will be sit side by side on two tawa, which they call it brass gong. By their sides stand in attendance their best man and bridesmaid, who are also dressed in a traditional costume. And the lemambang or bard will perform the babyao ceremony by holding and waving the coat over their heads, and will also reciting his prayer of blessing, as is always the case with the Iban prayers. The lemambang will end his prayer by saying, "Gayu Guru celap lindap gerai nyamai lantang senang," which means along with healthy, tranquil, cool, contented, and comfortable life. And the significance of the ceremony is to bless and is to wish this couple a happy married life. Thank you.
Today I want to give speech about festival. Firstly, the Gawai Dayak Festival. This festival is celebrated every year on the 1st of June at the end of the harvest season to worship the Lord Sempulang Gana. And that day, the Iban get together to celebrate and often visiting each other. There are many activities such as the number 1, the Iban traditional dance called Najat. Number 2, traditional cloth called Puak Kubu is used to decorate houses. Number 3, they serve cask wine called Tuak. And secondly, about the Gawai Burung or the bird festival is held in honor of the war gods named Singgalang Burung. Each notable individual from time to time by the action of pantun to tell about the warrior. Thirdly, for the Ibans who are Christians, they celebrate Christmas, Good Friday, Easter, and also celebrate other Iban festival. For information, majority Iban are Christianity. Although they have the difference in faiths, but they believe in helping and having fun together. It's very good attitude. Finally, there are some example musical and dancing heritage such as various type of agung, examples such as tawak, ketebung, bedai, and engkromus. The Kayan Iban also play flute called sape. The sape is the official musical instrument for the Malaysian state of Sarawak. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I will present about taboos. The first taboo is pregnancy. The main system which makes an even woman aware of being pregnant is when she no longer has her menstruation. She is certain that she is pregnant if during the following month she still does not have her period. She then begins to calculate her pregnancy as from the first month of her not having the menstruation. By the time the pregnancy is reasonably advanced, she has craving for certain foods, especially sour fruits. Confinement period. Soon after the mother's abdomen has been wrapped, she is made to sit beside a fire. She is given 3 mouthfuls of rice just after she has taken her seat. During this period, the mother eats rice together with smoked fish, ferns, and breadfruits. But all these foods are mixed with ginger juice. She also takes a lot of ginger juice or cooked slice of ginger to keep her body warm. She will then sit by the fireplace after childbirth, which normally takes about 41 days, to calculate the number of days she undergoes during her confinement. A pole is marked with line for each day she completed. The marking on the pole is done because in the past the event had no calendar. Nowadays, because all people are literate, the counting of days for such period is based on the calendar. Like other races, the type of firewood used to warm her will depend on where she lives. If she lives upright, she will ask to use firewood from the malam, lensat, or manding trees. The name of trees. And the next one is extra occupation. In other domestic chores, a male even performs heavier physical tasks such as fetching firewood, while a woman does the pounding, nutok, and grinding inside of paddy grains, husking the paddy, fetching drinking water, and cooking it. It is considered an improper conduct for the Ibans to await their wives to give instruction for them to do heavy work unless they are sick. Next one is manners while passing someone. For generations, the Ibans have displayed very good manners while walking in front of someone, especially those people who are older or of higher status than themselves. They do not want to be seen rude or misbehave while walking through a crowd. Rather, they would walk slowly and carefully by bending themselves down with hands placed in between their knees and say, "Please give me a way, I wish to pass by in front of you." The person whom she or he is going to pass by replies, "Please do pass." This is the way good manner Ibans boys normally practice among themselves when they gather among themselves in the gallery. Those who adhere to this practice are being praised for observing the customary good manners. However, those who misbehave are branded as having no manners and ignorant of the custom. And the last one is farming. Farming is the principal occupation of the Iban people. Wet and hill paddy are both planted subject to the geographical location and physical structure of the land farm. After a man is married, he will devote much of his time on his farm work and associate activities to feed his wife. Children and parents whose welfare are now under his responsibility. He learns about almond birds, farming techniques, and processes from the making of offering at the start of the farming season to the time when the paddy is being sown. After cleaning and drying in the sun at the end of the harvesting season, the paddy is stored inside the large bin made from the bark of a tree and placed at the loft of the longhouse. In the farming process, a man is responsible for the more physical tasks of clearing the farmlands, like felling the trees, burning, dabbling, and bringing in the paddy home. A woman plays a major role in sowing, weeding, and harvesting. During the trending, which is done by her husband, the woman removes the empty ears of the grain. The woman also winnows the paddy while her husband gradually pours it onto the mats during the drying process. The reason for such a division of labor between a man and a woman is due to the fact that while she is doing the weeding and harvesting, her husband tackles other jobs like hunting, fishing, gathering fruits, tapping rubber tree, and earn side income for his family. Thank you from me.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Conclusion. We can know traditional foods and delicious foods in the Iban people such as Keminding, Manuk Panso, Sourfish, and Pekasam and Sabi. We also can learn traditional clothing of the Iban people is like Ketapu, Gagong clothes, Sirat, and others. We also can know the Iban language is spoken in Kalimantan, Indonesia's part of Borneo, and the regional state of Sarawak from Malaysia by the Iban tribe, an ethnic group of the Dayak group. It belongs to the Malay Polynesian language of the Austronesian family. Besides, we also can learn the customs of the Iban people, look like the custom of building a house, the custom of having children, and others. We also can know popular dance among the Iban people, look like ngajak dance and norak dance. We can learn types of gawai celebrations, look like gawai ngar, gawai melah pinang, and others. Lastly, we can know Iban taboos, such as after meals it is forbidden to sleep and bed not allowed to the bed of the sports and others. Thank you.